Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for clicking on the video. This is David Pendleton and today's video is gonna continue my new account build series. So if you're looking for a quick way to build a new account or a long way to build a new account, depending on what you're willing to do, look no further than the playlist section on my YouTube channel for new account builds. Now, I haven't focused on my new accounts in what seems like forever. I play a few games for time to time just to get some chest opening up and things like that. But last year I started 2 new accounts because I would get a lot of questions on what's the easiest way to upgrade your extra mile. How do you max out clubs really fast in the game? And although there's no 100% positive answer to that account, I do have a method here that I've created over a lot of research to figure out what's the best way to boost clubs fast. And it's really manipulating the chest that you open, okay? So this will be a condensed version. If you start a new account and if you stay in tour number 2 for a really long time, you're gonna max out the tour 2 clubs. And the most important club, I think, in the game is going to be the extra mile. So tour 2, the extra mile, you're going to get extra mile cards 1 out of every 4 chests. So 25% of the chests you open are going to have extra mile cards. Gold chests are going to be 1 out of 3, so 33%. And then, of course, a platinum chest will be 1 out of 2, so 50%. And if you only stay in tour number 2, you're not going to unlock any of the tour 4 clubs. So things like, the quarterback and the guardian, you see all these clubs here that I don't have unlocked. That's because I've strictly stayed in tour number 2 until I reach an extra mile level 8. Once I do that, I go to tour number 3 just to start to boost up the amount of coins that I have. And the reason the coins are important is because you're going to want to enter rookie level tournaments, but you're not going to want to actually qualify for them. You're going to want to get yourself not qualified so that the day after that, you get the $1.99 package, which will get you 500 gems, and it will also get you 25 katanas. So you can kind of see here that I have almost 1,000 katanas, and really that's just from strictly buying that $1.99 package, which is a very good deal. The gems are going to allow you to speed open chests. So what do I mean by that? That means every time that you win a game, you're going to go in there and just open that chest immediately. That way you can collect the club cards. This is really going to give you a fast way to boost up your clubs. Now, you can do this method whether you're new or whether you're advanced. So if you're sitting there with like an extra mile 6 or 7 and you consistently play, tour 7, 8, 9, whatever it is, you can go back to tour number 2, do the same strategy, and the club cards are going to be the same drop. So that's where you would go hunt all of your extra mile cards. Now, the reason why it's really good for new accounts is because you're going to manipulate the club cards in the chest. For example, take a look at some of my epic clubs. Like the Horizon is almost a level 6. The Grim Reaper is a level 5. We'll take a look at the Kingfisher, almost a level 6. My Firefly, more than halfway to a level 6. My Junglist is already a level 6. So the thing about this is every time I go open a chest, I'm giving Golf Clash or Playdemic fewer options to give me as my club cards. So for example, they can't give me the Sand Lizard, the Houdini, the Spitfire, the Razor, the Amazon, the Nirvana, the Skewer, yada, yada, yada. They can't give me anything that I haven't unlocked. That puts the odds in my favor because it allows me to quickly max out club cards. Now you can see here my extra mile is almost 500 clubs available to go to an extra mile 9. So I could upgrade it to an extra mile 9 right now if I wanted to, but I'm not going to because I'm not sure what my future plans are with these accounts yet. They may eventually take over my 2 rookie accounts that I normally use for YouTube walkthroughs. If I get more time in the future to start playing pro and expert material for YouTube. But you can see here, like my Backbone, my Rough Cutter, I have many clubs that are already maxed out. In fact, I think all of the common clubs that I have unlocked are maxed out. I know they are. And you can see here that I have epics, or not epics, I'm sorry, rare clubs that could be maxed out. The extra mile could be maxed out. We're almost halfway to maxing out the big dog. You'll see here the Goliath is 365 cards away from being maxed out. The Apache already maxed out. Look at that, down in 1 is almost a level 8. There's a lot of players who probably have 10,000 plus games played. They don't even have it to a level 8 yet. And that's just because you're not getting it that often. Look at that, the Malibu, wow, that's only 245 cards away from being maxed out. Now you might ask why that's important. Well, that's important because every day when you go in here and you do your club card trade-in, you're going to get fed epic cards, right? Or you're going to get fed rare cards. And my goal is to max out all of the rares until I move up. Because when I do that, then I'll be able to max out epics pretty quickly, okay? Now, if you take a look at this new account here, it's played, just above 3,000 games. I don't play games too often. You can see last season I only did 460 clan points, so I'm not playing too much. But when I do play, I go in here and I play both of my new accounts at the same time. And my other one is the Kratos account here, which most people are familiar with. You see this one right at 3,000 games played as well. So, again, I stayed in tour number 2 until I had the extra mile to level 8. And then I switched over to tour number 3. The reason that I'm playing tour number 3 right now is simply because I don't need any more of the club cards that are associated with tour number 2. I've essentially maxed out every single club that I can. So now I'm having the game feed me the Tour 3 club cards, okay? You might be asking, what are my next steps beyond this? Or if somebody wanted to do this faster than me, what are the next steps? The next steps would simply to do this, is you would be going straight to Tour number 6. There's nothing in Tour number 4 that we care about from a club card perspective. There's nothing in Tour number 5 that we care about from a club card perspective. Tour number 6 is where you unlock the most versatile club in the game, in my opinion, which is the Sniper. So essentially what you would do is you would play Tour 1, Tour 2, and Tour 3, like I did. You don't even have to max out Tour 1. If you're a new player, once you unlock Tour number 2, you could just skip right to Tour number 2, and that's where you're going to live for a long time, okay? Now, unless you're willing to spend money on the game, if you were to buy the ball packages every week, if you were to do that $1.99 Katana package every tournament and every 9-hole cup, you would be able to unlock chests at a very, very rapid pace, and you're going to be amazed how quickly you start to max out clubs. So, let's say once you got to an extra mile 8, if you're like, okay, I don't care to max out every club before I move on. I've got my extra mile 8. What's next? Well, what's next is you would max out tour number 3, which is going to open up tour number 4, okay? You would play the minimum amount of games in tour number 4 to unlock tour number 5. So in my case, I need 30 more trophies to unlock tour number 5. I would play 3 games in tour number 4. So as long as I won 3 games in a row in tour 4, I would win 36 trophies. 36 trophies is enough to unlock tour number 5. I would then play the absolute minimum amount of games in tour number 5 to unlock tour number 6. And then I would just go to tour number 6. You're going to dominate your way through tour number 6 because you're going to be playing a lot of newer players to the game. The reason why you don't care to max out tour number 4, tour number 5, is because that's going to manipulate your overall max trophy level, right? If you don't go in here and max out these trophies, that's one algorithm to the game, then your opponents are going to be easier. Just at the end of the day, that's all it's going to do. And you don't need to max it out unless you really care about like winning these little achievements, which I don't care about. But if that's important to you, then I guess you would do that. But regardless, that's the overall strategy on what I go for. I keep my accounts in Rookie 2. I don't ever let them promote up. I'm not sure how that algorithm works yet in the game, so I always keep it Rookie 2. So I just make sure that I keep myself out of the promotion zone every week, which is ultimately really easy to do. Just kind of follow along as you play, right? So, and then here, obviously, I try to do all of these, okay? I've never bought the season pass on the new accounts because you don't need to. You're going to be able to easily do every daily challenge. You're going to be able to easily do every weekly challenge. You're going to be able to easily do every season challenge as well. The only season challenge that you're going to have a very difficult time doing is if you have to win 100 games in the shootouts. You're hardly ever going to go to a shootout. So the only way to really get there is if you purposely miss shots and go to a shootout. But you can see here, we're only 7 days into a new season. I'm easily going to get these two right here this week. And then this one will just come with a little bit of grinding. But again, it doesn't take too long to complete Tour 2 or Tour 3 games. So 100,000 yards won't be too difficult, especially on a non-tournament week when you can just go in here and play a bunch of games and just let the yards rack up. But as long as you get your daily, weekly, and all your season challenges, you're automatically going to end up right here in this zone between 26, 27, and 28, okay? So you don't need to spend the $10. And then something like that, you might be able to get to it. Like last season, I was able to get to number 29 on both of my new accounts and without spending a dime, right, on the season pass. And then this one's really not important. But sometimes, like this is a good one here for people who want to grind and help their clan. But sometimes, the reward at level 29 isn't worth the extra time to get there. But all of these chests are super important because these are going to be all free club cards, and it's a lot of cards, right? So this is over 70 cards to get to that chest. So that's just kind of how I look at it from a strategy perspective. And again, especially if you're brand new, like getting these chests will be key because they're going to help you gain fast club cards for free. So that's the overall strategy. If you're looking for a more in-depth breakdown, then I would go ahead and visit my YouTube channel, go to my playlist section, and look at the new account build. And now I'll go ahead and play a few games here while we're hanging out. Not too many games. I'll probably just play a few. Now, tour number 3, if you haven't been here in a while, and again, I'm only playing tour number 3 because I've accomplished everything that I wanted to in tour number 2. I've already got my extra mile to a level 8, which is my goal, and then I've maxed out all the tour 2 club cards, so I don't need to spend any more time there at all. But if you haven't been to tour number 3 in a long time, the pinhole locations have changed. I noticed that this week. I don't know when they changed, but they've changed. So this will be a drive. We'll hit this one over 280 yards, so that'll be another check mark towards the season challenge. So 361, and this is a longer par 5 as well, so this will help with that 100,000 yard. And you can see our opponent, unless they make a really good shot here for shot number 2, they're not going to have any chance to win this hole. For me, I've lost more games on me doing stupid things. So, like every once in a while, I get that challenge where you have to win 20 shootouts in a week, right? So I'll purposely go to shootouts on holes that I could have won in regulation. Like I'll purposely miss a putt or something so that I can force a shootout, and then I end up losing the shootout, and I get really mad at myself when I do that. Because then I didn't accomplish anything. But you're going to find out that your winning percentage is going to be insanely high when you're doing this method. Because unfortunately for the actual true newbie players to the game, you're going to be playing them, and they're not going to have a chance to win. Like this account here only has 145 games played. If they're brand new to Golf Clash, they don't have really any concept of the ring system and how this game works. So they're going to have a very, very hard time beating you. Every once in a while, you will run into somebody who's doing the same strategy, right? I know there's a lot of players out there, especially when I first released this series of video, that were following along. and I know we were running into each other a lot. And those games get fun and competitive because it's fun when you're playing somebody else who's played a couple thousand games and they have like, you know, a 90% winning percentage, and you're like, okay, this will actually bring some excitement to this match. So here we won this game. And we just kind of roll along. So now I can open this one. This is just kind of what I do. I just open these all the time. And now we're going to be able to collect this reward, which is going to be a red chest. Alright, so this is a good chest for us because, look, we gained 46 gems, which is nice. We gained 1 epic club card. We get 12 big dog. And then look at this. We got 21 machete. So now that machete is ready for a trade-in. So we're above the 300 club cards on that club. So that's one more trade-in that we'll be able to count on, which is going to help boost all of our clubs. So that was a really good chest to open for us. And then here, you know, again, I just go in. I play another game. Normally what I do is I get my other iPad and I normally play my Kratos account at the same time. That way they sort of level up together, because ultimately, like I said, I might make these 2 accounts my new rookie accounts for YouTube at some point. So I try to keep them at the exact same amount of games played and the exact same clubs, which I've done so far. I see this is another player. They've only played 370 games total, so if they're actually new to Golf Clash, you know, they're still learning the ropes. Probably no concept of things like the ring system. So more than likely, you know, you're going to win most of your games in regulation, which is why I said it's really hard to go to a shootout. Because even though our opponent drove the fairway here, they may not have the skill to get to the green in 2 shots. To whereas we will be able to. I hope you're having a good tournament week. So it's Friday. It's always a good day for most people. It's 7:30 in the morning here. Yeah. Accessories and stuff. Yep. Exactly. Yep. Yeah. Nope. That sucks. Okay. Nice, right? Well, like I was saying, it's 7:30 in the morning here, and I had to step away and answer a call real quick, but that's okay. I'm back. Doesn't look like I missed anything, so I don't even know where our opponent's at. One thing I did notice here, I'm playing with the wrong bag. It looks like I just took that shot with my Horizon. This is not the bag that I use for tour number 3, so I'll show you my bag setups for tour 2 and for tour 3. Oh, okay, our opponent is within striking distance here. They are in a place where they can make this shot. But, you know, again, this is an easy shot for players like you and I. But for new players, you know, a 5-mile-per-hour headwind, crosswind angle, even though it's a short shot, you know, a lot of players struggle with it because they just don't know where to put their clubs yet. They don't know how to read their ball guidelines. Like a dart level 4 has a bad ball guideline. And here you see they're using overpower. Perfect ball though, but they're going to hit the pin and get knocked backwards. So After this game, though, I'll show you the bags that I use for Tour 2 and the bags I use for Tour 3. Okay, so this is my bag. Yeah, this is my Tour 2 bag. That backbone is the best club to use in Tour 2 because there's a shootout, a hole in which has a long hill, like a slopey hill, and that backbone you can get within a yard every time, hole in ones, by using 1 bar backspin, 10% at max, no moving target. But this is my Tour 3 bag right here. Viper and the Goliath, in my opinion, best for Tour number 3. So kind of like I said here, I always speed open my chest. There we go. One more epic card in the books. We'll play another game here with the right bag. Just thought I'd make this video before my work day got started. Check in with people. See how you're doing on the Star Spangled Tournament. And also, I've been getting some comments on YouTube asking like, hey, have an extra mile 7. How do I get that extra mile 8 fast? So I just thought this would be a good time to just bring this account series back up. One thing I also noticed here is that I have a Marlin out. I normally play every single game on Tour 2 with a basic ball. I normally play every game on Tour 3 with a basic ball as well. I just think last night I had that challenge where you have to win a game without using a basic ball, which is why the Marlin was in my bag. But I also have like 500 of these things, so you might as well use them because you're not going to use them in anything else. I've also found out by doing this that I have gotten a lot better with using max overpower and hitting perfect shots. There's just so many holes that you can go max overpower on, like this hole, for example. And I think through repetition of just doing it with these new accounts, I've gotten a lot better at hitting perfect. I've gotten better at hitting perfect out of the sand and rough too, because you're going to get those challenges where it's like, hey, play one game with the rough cutter, play one game with, whatever, the Desert Storm. And when you're purposely in the rough and the sand a lot, you just get better with the timing of it as well. So I think that's helped out my game a little bit too. See, it's another example where you just hardly ever go to a shootout. It's really disappointing when you get that one season challenge where you have to go to 100 shootouts just because it's almost impossible unless you're purposely doing it. Now we got another gold chest, and now we should have 3 gold chests on the board. We do. So we'll open this one. See what we get. One more Firefly. And then, every time we open a chest, we're also making progress towards this one right here. So pretty soon, at some point this week, pretty quickly, we'll be getting 1,000 reward points, and we'll be up in this zone opening stuff by the end of the week. I'll play one more game with you all. Hopefully you found some value out of this. If you have any questions, of course, leave it in the comments below. I do as good of a job as I can to answer every question that comes through. So I'd love to hear from you. I'll answer the question if I can or point you in the right direction. But this will be my last game that I play. Got to run up to the gas station, put some gas in my wife's car before she goes to work. It's our anniversary this weekend. I got to go run and grab an energy drink, and then work day is starting. Another example of trying to time out, you know, a max overpower shot. Hit a great one on this one. But there's a lot of fairway to work with here, so you can practice your max OP. This would be a good opportunity to have the Horizon in the bag, but the only reason that I put the Viper in the bag on tour number 3 is because there is a shootout hole on tour number 3 in which you will use your wood club. There's no shootouts on tour number 2 that you're going to use a wood club. A Horizon is not good for shootouts. The Horizon is good for topspin. So in tour number 2, there's a couple par 5s where that topspin comes into play, and you'll win every single hole just because you have the Horizon. Tour number 3, you can go to a shootout that requires the wood club, and then the Horizon is garbage. So you're better off to have the Viper in your bag for that purpose. Oh, goodness gracious. Look at that terrible shot. See if we can get us a perfect shot out of the sand here. Whoa, not even close. Wow, I just talked about how much better I was doing, and then I put up a dud like that. So we may get one shootout here out of 4 games. If our opponent gets on the green or the fairway. See, they have 65% winning percentage, which makes me feel like this is probably an alternate account. So they probably have experience with the game. So we will go to a shootout here, and we'll see how it happens. So this will be a shot with the Goliath here. All right, moment of truth here. We'll see what happens. If you're going to miss this hole, you want to miss to the left. You don't ever want to miss to the right, because if you miss to the right, you're going to hit that hill. and you're going to roll down into the rough. And then you're always like 7 to 9 yards away from the pin. All right, so that's it for that. There it is, right down into that kind of fringe rough area. Like I said, 7 to 9 yards away. They were 7 yards away. All right, so that wraps up this video, everybody. Best of luck with your Friday. Hope you have a great weekend planned. It's my wife and I's 9th anniversary this weekend, so I hope you found the video helpful, especially if you're looking to how to build an alternate account. Remember, check out my new account playlist section of my channel. Thanks, everybody.